Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we are actually getting some crazy information coming out of here from all the official sources on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, as you guys probably know, the PlayStation 5 Pro did just come on out, and a lot of people are kind of curious on how it's going to change the console market, who is kind of winning, who's kind of losing, and so far, with even outside perspectives from Capcom, who just also released their fiscal year of 2024 sales kind of split down, it kind of goes to show that right now, Xbox as a platform is dead, done. And at the same time, the PS5 Pro is selling better than expected. The numbers are going astronomically high, and even in comparison to both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S, the PS5 Pro is doing phenomenal. So I'm going to go talk about this, talk about these brand new numbers that just came out, and I want to hear all your thoughts and comments on everything all down below. Now, as the usual disclaimer, I do like the Xbox. I hope there will be a future Xbox. If you guys have an Xbox, don't worry, your console still has some good stuff on the way, has the good Game Pass, and it's a vibe. Like, don't get me wrong, you should still hopefully be happy with your Xbox, but it does also have to go and show that reality does hit, just like the reality that Mike Tyson did go and lose that fight last night. A little bit sad still about that one. I haven't really touched about that in the videos itself, but I kind of thought Jake Paul was going to win, and it was a kind of waste of my own time. If you guys want to make a comment on that one down below, you guys can. But let's go talk about the fact that the PS5 Pro is actually sold phenomenal, and let's go talk about it. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on here for the PS5 Pro giveaway, our second YouTube channel. We have 2 Twitter accounts and the Twitch links down below if you guys want to have bonus giveaway entries. And of course, you want to pick up your own console. We have all the affiliate links linked down below. Let's go and dive on into the video itself. So very first and foremost, I want to go highlight these numbers because these are going to be very, very relevant throughout like the ongoing part of the video. Right now, Capcom, which I'm sure you guys have heard of, Monster Hunter, Street Fighter, a lot of really big games out there I'm sure you guys have played or heard about, has now kind of given out their information, which is its own video on its own, but I want to kind of condense into one, saying that Capcom's fiscal year of 2024 sales, and this is just showing like what console, what place got the most sales. So as of right now, PlayStation had over 3 million sales for their entire vibe. 3 million. Nintendo itself still kind of pretty close, but that's a pretty big gap of 1.2 million overall game software sales. Xbox very low at 206,000, with PC even lower at 44,000 itself. Now, to kind of break that down, I'm sure a lot of you guys know a lot of these console games are mostly on console. So think of games like Monster Hunter, although a lot of people do play that on PC. I do want to say predominantly at the time, especially like World or Rise was mainly a console game. Or things like Street Fighter, people play it on PC, but those games also usually have a bigger uptick on things like consoles. Even things like Dragon's Dogma were more optimized itself, so overall it makes a lot of sense of why. And of course, 206,000 isn't necessarily a dead console per se, but it is quite a bit lower even on Nintendo, which isn't really predominantly known for like the best specs and graphics. So once again, this is showing that the PlayStation just has a massive install base lead over Xbox, whether it's due to marketing, whether it's due to just overall community vibe, precedent. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons for it that we've covered a lot of different types of videos. PC, though, was surprising how low those numbers were, but once again, I'm sure over time those will keep on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Especially if you look at stuff like Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm very curious to see on how that community does and grows as the game itself gets released. So high level already, software sale wise, the PlayStation is doing better. The PlayStation is miles better. Like that's a very high, like 15 times or so more. That might be the wrong math, but you know, it's just a lot. It's a lot more. So that kind of leads into the fact that the PlayStation 5 Pro has actually been doing great. Now, in comparison, it's selling as well as the PS5 or PS4 Pro, even with the higher price tag. Apparently, with inflation or just overall, I guess, just want for the console, the $700 price tag isn't necessarily the big, I guess, disruption point that a lot of people thought it was going to be when it first was announced as well. And a lot of people are hyped up for it. But the one of the biggest things out here, though, is that the PS5 itself is, well, just doing good, like overall, even in Japan itself. So going through the Famitsu sales too as well, and like I'm watching them kind of doing this one, but basically like it's selling really good. Like the PS5 Pro sales are exceeding expectations. Everyone is assuming it's way better, and even in comparison to Xbox, it's almost on its own miles above. Saying it had its really strong first week sales in Japan, which obviously, like, we're going to have sales in the United States, the UK, Australia, throughout the entire planet. That's how it is. But Japan's always a big one to note because that's like the homegrown country. And although Xbox has been predominantly weaker in Asian cultures for God knows why, maybe just the games, maybe the marketing, maybe just the fact that, Sony is a Japanese-based company at the heart of it, and usually Japan is very nationalistic, where they like to support things like Nintendo, like Samsung, because those are the companies that were established there. It's kind of like if you're an American and you really enjoy a certain American, gear, I don't know, whatever it might be. We just want to have American companies do well. I think maybe the stock market for us, we want to have all the American-based companies do very well because it makes our economy stronger, get more money in taxes, the usual. That you guys have to get that vibe. But anyway, this also apparently had very, very strong pre-orders over here when it comes to Japan, because apparently it had over 78,000 units sold as well. While if you have other comparisons, such as the Nintendo Switch OLED, which is still phenomenal on all sales numbers, with 42,274 consoles overall sold. So while that is, I still want to give just credit, because that console is a very old console. It is nuts, and a brand new console only doing 78,000, which is still insane, is absolutely crazy. But it seems like it's even basically it's way higher priced at $700, but there does still seem to be a big amount of appetite for the mid-gen upgrade even in Japan. Now we're going to be very curious to see the overall UK numbers in the United States numbers. But the big thing is, if you want to compare this to Xbox, which we'll do a little bit more of a deeper dive in, it's horrible. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. The PlayStation 5 Pro did 78,000. So just for overall from scratch, first week, 78,000 could be worse. The Switch OLED model did 42,000, as we just mentioned, which was insanely good, with around 8.1 million total sales. Switch Lite at 16,000. PlayStation 5, though, all things considered, is a little bit lower, but it's still at 5.2 million, which is kind of nuts. But only 8,000 is still kind of low. It's something to note. But obviously, people are trying to get new consoles. The newest one came out, so I'm sure this number would be higher if the PS5 Pro did not just go and happen. I'm sure you guys would agree. But either way, this is an insane number, for especially in Japan itself, where don't forget the population is a lot lower. There's still a lot more PC gaming. Console gaming is more of a Western thing, like UK, America, Canada, Mexico, etc. The Switch itself, the baseline Switch did 5,000, getting close to 20 million. And of course, the Xbox Series X Digital Edition, which I do believe is like the newer one, I believe. So if you want to have even more comparison numbers, this is like the new PlayStation. This is the new Xbox. If it's like the white one, I believe it might be. Only 1,500 sales with a 6,000 total sales. That's abysmal, dude. That's really not good. And this is also the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition at 1.5 thousand. And I almost want to say, I think this is like even the older console, because we now have the Slim itself, which I think is why I'm more factored in with this. And we also have the Xbox Series S with only 668 sales, 323,000 total sales since launch. And then the Xbox Series X only had 232 sold. Now, I do want to go and say, if I gave the same free pass for the PlayStation 5 Pro, which we did, that you should probably go combine these two. So it would make sense of why the Xbox Series X is only at 232 and this is at 1,500. But even combining all three of their subgenres, it's only like 2,300 or so consoles. That's abysmal. Like, even just the random PlayStation itself, that's not even the current, big flavor of the month, did better. The Switches alone are still, just even in comparison to both PlayStation and Xbox, have done phenomenal. That is crazy. But it just kind of goes to show that, dude, almost the PS4 has 50 sales, which is kind of funny they track that. But it's nuts to go and see that, because it just seems like the Xbox is failing. That the PS5 Pro is selling a lot better than people expected. And granted, this is also be somewhat core-lived towards the United States. The UK will get those numbers probably in the next month or so, next few weeks or so. So subscribe if you guys haven't yet. But it's crazy to go and see just how bad Xbox is doing in Japan. As I mentioned, there's a nationalistic viewpoint. They'd rather prefer Sony. Sony is a Japanese-based company. Same with the Switch. So it makes sense of why. And there is a little bit more of an Asian-inspired game genre there, such as imagine Metaphor, Persona, those type of genre of games. Are usually big sales. So if you want to look at the overall biggest sales, apparently the Mario Luigi Brothership, which I heard was really bad, got good sales over there. Super Mario Jamboree apparently did good, which I've heard is actually good things over there. And then Mario Kart 8, Minecraft, Animal Crossing, Legend of Zelda, just basically a lot of Nintendo stuff. Nintendo Switch Sports, Call of Duty over here on the PS5 itself, Professional Baseball Spirits, I don't know what that even is, from Konami. But you can't even see Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven. I don't know what this even is. but it's selling okay, you know, Dead Rising Deluxe, etc., etc. So at the end of the day, it's crazy to go and see how poorly Xbox is doing, how well the PS5 Pro is doing, and I want to hear your thoughts and comments on everything down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. We have all the giveaway bonus links down below for the YouTubes and the affiliate links for the consoles as well down below. I appreciate y'all for watching.